I'm so humiliated that I put up with this. Like, when I think about who I am, I've been married for 20 years. And there isn't a single thing about any aspect that he can find worth paying a genuine compliment about. In the course of a week.
Welcome back, family. Today we will review this woman who is divorcing her husband because he doesn't give her genuine heartfelt compliment twice a week. Then she makes false allegation to get her husband arrested. Fellas, the topic in this video really speaks deep into my heart. I read your comments, and I understand that the world need to hear our side of the story. So it is very important for you to listen to the BS these women speak into these clips so that you can learn how to protect yourself from these kind of women.
If it were just me and my future ex-husband, I wouldn't do this. I'd bounce. I'd be gone. I would have bounced years ago. Because there's only so long that you can be in a relationship where the other person makes it clear they don't give a shit about you. Here's what happened the first time we went to therapy. Do you want to know what it came down to that he didn't do for 3 weeks in a row and insisted every single time was too big of a deal and completely impossible? Over the course of 1 week, he needed to give me a heartfelt and genuine compliment about anything. Absolutely anything. The assignment was to compliment anything. It could be how hard I work as a mom. It could be the type of shoes I was wearing. It could be anything. He had to pay me a compliment. That was the assignment. And this was so overwhelming and taxing for him. He said it just wasn't impossible to be genuine about it. And so this time around, when we're going to therapy again, and like March and April and May, guess what? He's the one who scheduled those appointments. I was so excited. I was like, you know what? Maybe this time he's going to put some work into it and he'll actually get something out of it. And we go in that first therapy session and he doubles down. You know, because the therapist is like, well, what happened when you went to therapy before? Like, why did you stop going? And, you know, future ex-husband is like, oh, I have no idea. And I said, I know. And I relate this experience. And instead of even feigning that it didn't happen, completely lying about it, future ex-husband is like, well, there's nothing about her worth complimenting. There's nothing good there. I've been married for 20 years. And there isn't a single thing about any aspect that he can find worth paying a genuine compliment about. In the course of a week. I'm so humiliated that I put up with this. Like, when I think about who I am and who I encourage my kids to be, how come I stayed in a relationship where the other person said unequivocally, there's nothing good about you? Why have I stayed? Why did I think my kids being exposed to that was better? I just kept hoping. Like a tiny little half step forward was progress, right? I'm just so embarrassed that I accepted that as enough for so long. Like, I know there's good things about me. And I think part of the reason that I know there's good things about me is because I've had to learn on my own, because I wasn't going to get that from any external validation from him. He was never going to tell me that I looked nice that day. He was never going to tell me a haircut was pretty. He was never going to tell me that I was a good mom for running around and doing all of this and making sure everything happened and making sure every single thing was purchased for Christmas and making sure everything was done. It was never going to make me worthy of a single compliment. I'm tired. I'm so tired of just having to hold it together all on my own. It is so refreshing to have a friend just tell me, you look nice today. Or that was really clever. Because for so long, that's just been a void of nothingness. Like, if I ever felt too good about myself, it was just like, let's knock her down a peg. She shouldn't get too big of a head, right? What's wrong with me feeling good about who I am?
Here is why I call modern couples therapy BS for men. The assignment the therapist gave her husband was to do something for his wife. But on the other hand, the assignment the therapist gave this woman was to do something for herself, if there was even any assignment for her to do. Most of these therapy sessions already assume that the man is wrong and should do more, and all the woman gets is more validation. I applaud her husband for being honest about not giving her genuine compliments per the assignment. This doesn't mean that he never gave her any compliments throughout the whole 20 years marriage. It just means that with the recent tension in the marriage, he cannot give genuine compliments. Now, let's dive into the false allegation and why I think that they are false.
And future ex-husband does not have a protective order in place. He was arrested on Sunday, but he was arraigned yesterday, which means the protective order that happened for him to get released from jail expired yesterday at midnight. I was supposed to be notified when he was arraigned. I was not. And my protective order, like my long-term protective order, is still in the paperwork phase. I've been in the paperwork phase since Monday, and I'm kind of freaking out.
Basically, she is filing for divorce, and her lawyer probably advised her to press charges of abuse against her husband so that she can have a leg up. Now, she used the kids to do that, which is the lowest blow you can give to a father. Her husband was arrested and then released probably because the charges she claims don't make sense. But in the meantime, her husband's reputation is being tarnished. Here is more proof that her charges are BS.
The morning yesterday down at the courthouse and talking to legal aid, and I felt like an idiot at legal aid. Like, clearly this woman has dealt with more significant cases, and so I'm telling her what's happened, and she's like, is that it? Is that it? And I felt like an idiot. But when I talked to my lawyer and I talked to the police, they're like, no, this is pretty significant abuse. And I didn't call the police for so long because I didn't want that exact feeling from the legal aid person.
If the lady at the legal aid court who usually side with women doesn't find the charges significant, that should say a lot about these charges. Here is her, now trying to find sympathy online as usual.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm safe. I'm not well. I've had a really crappy night. My kids don't feel safe at home. Little man who was already home when future ex-husband got home, he just kind of got trapped in the crossfires. He was in his bedroom all night. He did not come down and lovingly greet his dad. No, he was terrified. And every time there was any sound anywhere in the house, he would text me and say, Mom, are you safe? I've never allowed my kids to have sleepovers because when I was growing up, I got touched by people who shouldn't have touched me. And so I just don't allow it. Violet had her first sleepover last night because she didn't feel safe coming home. Sam is spending the weekend at his girlfriend's. Thankfully, I am on good terms with his girlfriend's mom. We've known each other for years, and I was able to just reach out and be like, hi. It's an absolute fucking nightmare at my house right now. So, could my son just stay at your house? We are a hyper-religious community, okay? Like, you have no idea the ask that is. This morning, when I picked up Violet from her friend's house and took her to school, she gave me the biggest hug. And she said, thank you for fighting for me to feel safe. And I'm not allowed to say anything about future ex-husband that is unkind. And I feel like my hands are tied because this is how I process right now.
We can all see in 4K how this woman is destroying her husband's life by screaming abuse with absolutely no significant proof. She is turning the kids against their father, and this man might even lose his job and have his whole life turned upside down because of these allegations. This video is very special to me because I've personally witnessed this situation played out. And I know for a fact that they are men who are watching this video right now who have been through a similar situation, or men who know someone who is or has been in this situation. I am here to tell you to not give up because it gets better with time. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you liked the video. Peace.